Hi, Gus here from the 111 Shift. In this video we're going to change the transmission oil in a 2005 Lotus Elise with a clutch type LSD. So these are the tools and supplies we will need. Not much of particular interest here except that you do need a 24mm socket, which is a little larger than most, so you may have to get that. We're also going to try hard not to need that. So I thought I'd start with the car all jacked up to speed things along, but then I discovered I did something wrong, and I thought I'd share it with you so you guys don't do it. Basically, the problem here is I've used the wrong jack point. As you can see, the oil fill plug there is going to drain onto the jack right here. That's no good, so I have to move the car. Okay, now you can see I've moved the jack stands, and there's plenty of room for oil drain. And the next step is to loosen the drain plug, which is kind of tight. Now that I've got it loose, I'm going to see if I can do this by hand to avoid dropping the drain plug. Okay, now I have it finger loose, so we can take the, and I'll watch me drop this thing, right? Alright, it's getting kind of loose. Should be out soon. I hear bubbles. And there it goes, and I actually didn't drop it, so hooray for that. And you can see transmission fluid now draining from the transmission. So the fill plug is a little bit hard to film, so I'm going to show you where the wrench goes, and then from there I'll just untweak it, and that'll help a little bit with the draining as we go. And so backing out a little bit so you can see where this is. It's right there. So there's the two plugs. The filler plug is on the right and the drain plug is on the left. One thing to think about when you're doing this operation is be careful not to get your plugs dirty. If you get dirt on the plug and you put the plug back in the transmission, now you have dirt in your transmission, and that's not good. Okay, and so now we need to get a tube down there so we can fill this thing. The Sands Museum has a website which has some nice info on this operation. Does suggest using a simple pump, but I don't have a pump, so we're going to use gravity. That means I need to thread this down, and it'll go down, and hopefully I'll be able to pick it up on the bottom side. And so there it is, sticking out of the bottom of the car. So now I gotta go put it in the hole for the filler. Okay, and now I have the filler tube in the filler hole, so we can now, as soon as we put the plug back in, start filling up the transmission with fresh fluid. See, there's basically only a occasional drip coming down, and so it's pretty much drained. You could drip probably almost forever, but this is good enough. So it's time to put the plug back in and fill it up. Plug goes in right about here. Zoom up. And the plug back in. Okay, plug's back in. And now what we want to do is we want to wipe everything up so that we can tell if it leaks later. And then we're going to tighten it. So I don't know how many of you spotted it, but I was missing a tool when I showed you the tools. The other tool we need is a torque wrench. So you want to torque this to 29 foot-pounds. Alright, so now it's time to put in the new oil. And so I have here 3 cans, one of which is just about half full, left over from the last time I did this. And that's approximately what you need to fill up the transmission properly. It's actually 2.4, so we can pour the first 2 in pretty freely, and then we'll have to watch and be careful with the last one. What we do want to do is fill to the point where we see a little bit dribble out. So obviously you're going to want to get rid of the old oil, and the best thing to do is put it back in the old bottles, because you can usually take it to the old AutoZone or other auto parts store, and they'll usually take back old oil for free. One of the problems you run into is if you just put a funnel in the bottle, it often seals with the edge of the bottle here, and the air can't escape while you're pouring the oil down in the bottle. And so one way around that is to tape a small object. In this case I've used a rivet mandrel, and that allows it to not set completely down in the hole, and the air will be able to escape around it, but it still sits in there nicely, so it's not going to fall out on me either. Alright, and so there we have it. We're all set, and we've changed the transmission oil. Should be good to go. Both nuts are torqued to 29 foot-pounds, and that's pretty much all there is to it.